Hi there, I'm Nasazrai, and today I will be giving you my 5 tips on VTubing on a budget. So, VTubing can be quite daunting when you look into it to begin with, and when you hear how much some people spend on a single model, it can really put you off becoming a VTuber. You don't need to spend £1,000, £2,000 on a model. You can get some pretty good models for a reasonable price. You can get some really good models for a reasonable price. You do just have to search. I will be covering what I can in this video, but I will be doing a deep dive into the models that I have, who I got them from, how I found them, and just giving advice on that in a different video, so stay tuned for that. So, the first point I want to cover is equipment. This is going to be one of your biggest spend. Possibly. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a chance you already have everything for VTubing already. If you have a mic, if you have a webcam, and you have a computer, you should be good to go. If you don't have a webcam, you can just buy a cheap one. You don't need a fancy £100 webcam. A cheap £10 webcam would work. At the end of the day, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to pick up on your movement the best that it can. You need the webcam to track yourself and your movements. If you don't have this, then your character will just be like this. Stood still, doing nothing. Ignore the eye movements. And it just makes your character lifeless. If you don't have a webcam and you don't have the budget to go get one, because in this day and age, we're all on quite a tight budget, I would consider becoming a PNG tuber. A PNG tuber is a person who is not just an image that may flash up. Maybe it'll do like an open and closed mouth. Maybe they'll do a little pizzazz with it. It depends on what the person decides to do. Another thing is the mic. As a VTuber, the microphone is quite important. If you do have a webcam and you have a mic and you have a PC, you should be good to go. If you don't have a mic, then I would consider maybe looking into a mic. Obviously, microphones can be quite expensive. I've just purchased a Vtubing AM8, I believe it is. So I'm going to test that out. If I find that it works really well, I will link it below. If you don't have the budget to buy a new webcam or a new mic, but maybe a cheaper one, look for a cheaper one or look for secondhand. There are plenty of YouTubers and VTubers and everyone who are selling off equipment because they've either upgraded or they've decided it's just not for them. So have a look. You never know what you'll find. Maybe you'll get lucky and you'll find something that is good that you can use. So number 2, models. Now this is another pricey part, but it doesn't have to be. If you're just starting out and you're not entirely sure if you want to be a VTuber or not, you can consider doing what I did, where I created a character in VRoid Studio and then used 3 teens to actually use the character. I would highly recommend going that way if you are new to VTubing and want something customizable, just because it's a great way to find your feet, get your concept nailed down, and just figure yourself out. It took me about 15 alterations of my original model to get to something I somewhat liked before I handed the concept over to an actual artist to do something much better, as you can see. So, you are now looking to get a model, but you don't have much money. What do you do? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. For instance, there are some people who sell off models that are pre-made. You can adopt a model. Now, this can be kind of pricey depending on who it is, but some you can buy a pre-made model that you alter, such as a speaker model. There are some where you can just outright buy a model, but there's a chance other people will use that model as well because they may have also purchased it. Another great suggestion that I would make is rather than going for an actual model like this, maybe consider going for a chibi! So, my chibi model right here, as you can see, it cost me about £50. And that's because I had it rush ordered for Halloween. I have a Christmas one coming of her as well, so I'm really excited to be able to use them. This is cheaper than what you pay for some models, and you can get customized to what you want with your specifications. Artists tend to be quite good working with clients, so yeah, I would highly recommend just consider doing something like that. So you might save a bit more than £100, say, and you want something personalized, customizable, fully rigged, but you don't have the full budget to get a full body. What do? Simple. Get a half body. That's what mine was. This is my first ever model. I did not want to splash out a lot of money on her while I was still trying to find my feet. So buying a half model meant I could learn everything I need to learn, adapt and grow as I learn, and then slowly save up to get a better model, which is currently in the works. Now, models can take time to do, so just be aware of that. Because, once again, artists do have lives to live, so just have patience with the artist. Please be careful with where you're buying your model and any other art that I will be mentioning here. There are plenty of people out there who will go into Discord servers, who go into your Twitch stream, who will spam you on X and slide into your DMs trying to sell you something. Please don't go with them. It sounds cruel, it sounds bad, but there have been plenty of people who've been scammed by those people who, and I'm sound even worse, a lot of their artwork is very samey, very flat, and very AI feeling. I would I would really recommend using the likes of VGen and Fiverr, maybe even Etsy, but that's one I don't personally use too much for an actual model. But you can find good artists on these websites, but you have a safety net that if something goes wrong, if the artist isn't doing what you're asking or they're not talking to you, you can get the money back because the artist won't have a choice. Now, obviously, like I said, this is a cheaper end model. I have a medium sized, well, a full body, medium priced model in the works who cost me about 600. But then you do have the high end, very pricey, 1,400, 2,000, 3,000 pound models, which I can't justify paying that, but maybe you could. Art, banner, panels, and other overlays. So you may see this cute little background that I have. This was art that I commissioned, and the lovely artist was totally amazing, but it cost quite a bit of money. So, what do you do if you don't have that money? Well, you can look on the likes of Etsy to find some pre-made ones that people sell. Obviously, they're not customizable to your specific character, but it's something. I actually bought a bundle before that had a load of different backgrounds in that I was able to use as a stand-in. I just did a little bit of alteration to make it look a bit more alive. Or if you want to use your actual bedroom, you can take a picture of your bedroom or something, or draw it yourself, whatever you want. Heck, you don't even need to have an actual background. If you go over to VTube Studio and look into the items section, you can find something to sit on. Just have it put behind your character. Let's get it to the sides and make sense for your character. And then, ta-da! I'm sat on a couch now. It's very simple. You don't need to go too fancy. There are a few other decoration things that you can find in VTube Studio just to make it a little bit more fun. Obviously, some of these are what I've personally added, but if you if you just take a photo of something and remove the background, you can upload it to VTube Studio. Now, when it comes to other art, you need to decide what you want to decorate your channel with. So I commissioned a bunch of art-based stuff, and then I made some art-based stuff. I personally use Photopea to do a lot of photoshopping and everything, but you don't need to do much. You see those really nice eye banners? What you can do is like a cheap version is print screen and then copy and save, and I will upload that to you guys to see what that looks like. Obviously, just have a bit of fun, play around with it. If you're not an artist like I'm not, just try your best. You don't need to be an artist to type some words on a page. Now, if you want to just do a quick little logo banner, use Photopea, use thefont.com, download fonts from thefont.com, upload the font to Photopea, then type whatever you want to title your channel with, and there you go. You got a very quick made banner. It's not fancy, but it's something. You can do the same for panels if you want to have like an About Me section or Games I Play section. You can quickly just do that. Maybe grab like an image or something of a controller and shove it behind or to the side. You can do whatever you want just to customize it a bit and make it look a bit more friendly and inviting. When it comes to overlays, there's also something you can do in Photopea. Just remember to remove the background in those sections so it is see-through. I would also say think about your layout and everything. So the more I look at the background here compared to me, I feel like I blend in a bit too much. But at the same time, I feel like it works for me. I think I probably would have had it maybe a bit more grayed out so I stood out more. But overall, I do really like this. But when we go over to this, as you can see, this is professionally made for me. I loved it. I did have to remove the black square as that was there. But once again, I put it in Photopea and I just deleted the black square. It made it so much easier for me. I only use this as my reaction screen as I find it so busy that when it comes to gaming, I feel like I get lost and I feel like the actual video may become a bit overwhelming. You don't have to purchase stuff from artists if you don't have the budget. Like I said, use Photopea. It is a free online source. You don't have to pay. Clips. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is starting VTubing, why do I need clips? Clips are important. If you do not make clips, you're not going to get discovered. Clips are bite-sized moments that may be the first thing people learn about you. If you don't make these clips, people aren't going to learn anything about you. When it comes to clipping, I would definitely consider the layout. So I lay mine out like this, where I have the smaller box being on me with my model and the bigger box being on the screen. Now the reason I did a stack version rather than just the one box is because it actually gives me more of the bottom screen if I do it like this. Now this layout kind of works on its own already. You can, if you have an editing program, use that to add titles and whatnot that you want, but it's not necessary if you don't have the budget. I'd say that's a goal that you should save up for to up your game, but it's not necessary in the moment. Social media. Please get social media. If you don't have social media and you don't post anywhere, people are not going to find you. It's free to have social media. You don't have to pay for all the special stuff. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Having free social media that people can access, where you can post your clips and get your name out there, is what will help you grow. Especially TikTok, YouTube, and X, because they are the ones that are most common for VTubers to use and connect and for people to find you on. I also have Instagram, but that's not the biggest thing. overall, I hope this helped a bit, giving you guys a little bit of an idea of what you could use, what you can do, and there will be links below to everything that I kind of talked about. I will be doing another video breaking down the models that I have, because I have quite a few, and doing links to them. So yeah, if you guys like this video, I'd appreciate it if you guys like this video. Maybe go watch a few of my other ones, whether it's gameplay or other helpful ones. Bye guys!